It is a Monday, which means that Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman met with the media to talk about many, many topics. And Jack, I've been doing live shows, the past couple days, and it's definitely on the minds of Irish fans to talk about the 10-man thing. And look, we're moving on to Duke, but people wanted to ask Freeman some follow-up questions, and I know Tyler did, not only in the press conference on Saturday night, but again, our own Tyler Horka did during the press conference today. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. Please hit the thumbs up, folks, if you like this video. Subscribe to our channel, of course, for more content. So again, Freeman talked about it in the intro of his presser, and then when Tyler asked him about it, like, when did you know about all of this stuff? Tyler even tweeted out, he asked Marcus Freeman to clarify when he knew that there was 10 players on the field. So just what kind of did Freeman say today that stood out to you, Jack?
Yeah, Freeman said a few things that stood out about that. I obviously what Tyler has on there, we'll address that in a sec. It was to his credit, he addressed it head on. He addressed it in his opening statement. He obviously knows that when you have 10 guys on the field on the biggest play of the season twice, it's not going to go away. The big clarification we got, and credit to Tyler Horka for asking us to get it 100% clear, is that Notre Dame did not know they had 10 guys on the field the second to last play.
Which that was the full throw to Harrison, right?
Yeah, that was a throw to Harrison. And by the way, Ohio State didn't notice it then either, because otherwise they wouldn't have called that play. But yeah, they had 10 guys on the field in the second to last play. Nobody noticed it then. They only noticed right before Ohio State was set to snap the ball for their last play, the touchdown to Chip Trayanum. And by the time they noticed, which Freeman said in the last press conference after the game, it was too late and they couldn't rush a guy on there. Now, Freeman did say, and this was different from what he said on Saturday, he did say that like another failure for Notre Dame was no one was not communicating it to the players on defense and saying like, hey, you got to go up and tap one of the offensive linemen on the shoulder, take the 5-yard penalty, give us time, or take the 5-inch penalty,
right?
I should say, and give us time to get an 11th guy in the field. So yeah, I mean that's basically what happened. It's Freeman is going to get the majority of the blame because he's the head coach. The nice thing about being a college football head coach is that when you're both the GM and the head coach, whenever something bad happens, it's it can be tracked back to you. But it's a failure on everyone involved. It's a failure on the guys in the booth for not noticing that Notre Dame had 10 guys on the field the play before. The players on the field, no one noticed that they had 10 guys on the field on the second to last play and couldn't adjust for the last play. So, I mean, it happened. It's not going away anytime soon. The best thing Notre Dame can do to make it go away is beat Duke this week, and I think they know that.
Yeah. Notre Dame about like a 6-point favorites on the road. College game day will be there, and we'll talk about Duke in just a second. But Jack, you asked a couple questions to Marcus Freeman. So starting holder has changed, Jack. Yeah. We're not going to spend too much time on that because it's a holder, but still notable. And then you talked about the true freshmen, making an impact: Jaden Greathouse, Rico Flores, and Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, real quick regarding the holder, I asked that because Notre Dame has obviously attempted a lot of long field goals this year, just by the way it worked out. But they're 3 for 7 right now. Spencer Strader, Freeman said, feels more comfortable with Bryce McPherson at holder, the punter, as opposed to Dylan Devison, the sophomore walk-on quarterback. They made that switch, so McPherson will be the holder this week. Regarding the freshmen, Freeman reiterated that it's a credit to the recruiting staff that Jaden Greathouse, Rico Flores Jr., and Jeremiah Love came in so college ready, and it's a credit to their high school coaches as well. And he also made a point to point out that while yes, Flores and Greathouse were winter enrollees, Jeremiah Love was a summer enrollee. He was a summer enrollee on, as we've discussed on this show many times before, a very crowded running back depth chart, and he was still able to stand out enough to get playing time and get carries on the most critical drive of the game and of the season for Notre Dame. And it was a drive that worked. And Jeremiah Love, I think everyone can agree, has looked terrific so far. And Mike, like we were talking about off air before the show started, Benjamin Morrison last year was a summer enrollee. He had a terrific freshman year. He's having an even better sophomore year. I think the picks haven't quite been there as much, but I mean, he locked down Marvin Harrison Jr. as well as anyone could the other night. Joe Alt was a summer enrollee. his freshman year. He started and played very well as a true freshman, and is renowned as one of the better offensive tackles in college football this year. And again, had a great game against Ohio State. The whole offensive line did. Freeman also made it a point to say, like, the freshmen who aren't playing, it's easy for them to look around at the guys who are and say, why is that me? And start complaining and getting discouraged. But, he made it a point to say everyone's journey is different. And it's up to the freshmen who aren't playing to not get jealous, not really get discouraged, and stay the course. And I think it's a very healthy attitude for Notre Dame to have towards its freshmen, that if you're ready to play, you'll play. But if you're not ready to play, stay the course and keep getting better.
Jack, let's spend a minute on injuries. Jaden Thomas and Deion Colzie. What Marcus Freeman had to say about those guys.
Yeah, Thomas is questionable with a hamstring strain, Freeman said. Deion Colzie will be out a couple weeks. He's having what Freeman described as a scope on one of his knees. I don't think we heard which knee it was.
Same knee that he injured last year.
Same knee that he injured last year. Freeman said that, like, the reason Deion Colzie didn't play at all against Ohio State and played very little since the Navy game, where he played very well, had 3 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown, is that that knee has been bugging him, and he hasn't been able. He could play, but he couldn't play at the level Notre Dame wanted and needed him to, and the level that Deion Colzie knows he's capable of. And for that reason, they're trying to scope the knee, fix that issue once and for all, they hope.
Yeah. Kind of notable, 7:30 obviously was the kickoff time for Ohio State. 7:30 at Duke this Saturday, 7:30 at Louisville the following Saturday, and then of course when USC comes to town, 7:30. So that's 4 primetime kickoffs in a row for Notre Dame. Now, I think your mileage varies on what the fans feel about that. I think primetime games are actually pretty cool. But I know for writers like yourself with a magazine deadline, stretching into 4 a.m. on Sundays, you probably don't like that, Jack. But thought it was interesting. Marcus Freeman found out about this during the press conference, the Louisville game time.
Yeah, let's just get this out of the way. Personally, it's a disaster, but that's not what this is about. But yeah, Marcus Freeman found out in real time that we saw him find out that the Louisville game is a night game. That makes 4 straight primetime games in what I think everyone can agree is the most difficult stretch of Notre Dame season. Louisville is 4-0, Duke is 4-0 and ranked and looking really good, and then Ohio State and USC are in there as well. And Freeman just kind of looked down at the lectern, sighed, and was like, okay, he's not thrilled. He is very not happy that the Louisville game is a night game. He said, like, they're going to get back from Duke at 3:30 a.m. When that game happens,
right.
And yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. You got to control the controllables if you're Notre Dame, and Freeman knows that. But yeah, they're not thrilled.
I was having a conversation with my wife on Sunday because she did not really understand like the different, like, Notre Dame's not in a conference. So I was having to explain a lot of this to her, and I was telling her about the 5-game deal that Notre Dame has with the ACC. So before, and I'm working on different travel for recruiting and me seeing different players, and I'm telling her that, like, she's asking, like, why does Notre Dame not know when it plays the Louisville game? And I'm explaining that the whole conference deal, and that the Monday before, like, right, so the Louisville game's on the 7th, and I was like, or the 6th, 7th, whatever it is, that Notre Dame will find out the whole week before on that Monday. So obviously September 25th. And that's just how it is with these conferences. And Notre Dame doesn't do that for their normal games. They're out of conference. When I say out of conference, obviously all of them are. You guys get what I'm saying, the out of the ACC thing, that Notre Dame doesn't have to deal with that. It's kind of a nice thing for the independents that Notre Dame knows when it's going to play and can kind of work that out. Long way to say, for these ACC games, the conference gets to pick it based on what they want for their primetime game. Notre Dame versus a really good Louisville team is obviously good for ratings in that primetime spot. And that's what, the conference and, obviously ESPN, ABC getting to pick that as well. So that's it. Notre Dame 4 straight in that 7:30 window. So don't, take too many adult beverages before the game, so then you're trolling on a message board or Twitter. Just be responsible. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hit that thumbs up, of course. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to blueandgold.com. Join our community. Sign up right now. It's just $1 for your first month to try it out. So please do that. And as always, folks, we will catch you next time.